Hey, Mary.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. Low. Let's see.
How are you today?
I am good. I'm doing good.
Good.
I haven't used Zoom in a while, so I was like, I had to do an update on it. So from this laptop.
I gotcha. Yeah, I'm trying to. Okay. Zoom sometimes can be very complicated. You would think it would be pretty user friendly at this point.
Not always.
So, are you from Oklahoma?
Yes, I go to the HQ, CODA HQ in Oklahoma City.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been a member there for about a year and a half or so.
Okay.
My husband's been going for about 4 years, almost 5 years actually.
Okay. To HQ?
Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I'm at Coda Norman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've been there a year this month.
Okay. Do you know David Starchman?
Yes, I do.
Real tall guy. Yeah, it's my husband's coworker.
Okay.
They work together, so.
Yeah, I think HQ is pretty big gym, isn't it?
Oh yeah. They actually expanded a couple of years ago because I think they were like right across the street, and then they had to get a bigger gym.
Okay. Norman's pretty big too. So we started after COVID, and I guess there was more classes before COVID.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a large population, right? So sometimes it's people will say, "Do you know this person?" I'm like, I don't go to 5 a.m. class, and that population only goes to 5 a.m. class. So I'm like, no, I do not know any of this.
Yeah, certain people go to those really early classes. I popped in a couple 6 a.m. just when I was working and stuff. So it's like just if I needed to get something in.
What class do you?
Yeah, I know just a few. I normally go to 6 p.m. Actually.
Oh, so you know Stephanie. Do you know Stephanie?
Yes, I'm trying to
Matthew.
Okay, I know that name.
Stephanie's a little bit taller
it's
than
a big
me.
crowd.
Stephanie's a little bit taller than me, a little bit younger, light brown hair, and then Matthew is her husband. And he's got a shaved head, maybe.
Shaved head, yes, I know them. I keep forgetting her. I know Matthew, but sometimes she'll come with them. Sometimes they kind of come separately. So
yeah,
I know them.
Yeah. Stephanie's one of my friends. So
okay,
yeah.
Cool. Small world.
Yeah. Well, actually, I met her through Coda United when we started the nutrition challenge. Like, hey, I'm just looking for friends, and she was like, "Oh, I'll be your friend." And then we started hanging out as couples because I'm married too, and just we love each other.
Cool. Awesome.
That's what I love about the CrossFit. I've been a CrossFitter since 2012.
Oh, okay. So
I've moved around a lot, and I'm moving around because my ex-husband used to be a college football coach. That's one thing is like you can always have kind of a built-in community.
Right, exactly. Well, I used to be, I still kind of run off and on, but since COVID, I just haven't had any races going on. So I've just been really doing a lot of CrossFit and just, actually I go to my cousin's gym, it's FitWorks. He owns that gym. Okay. So I've been doing boot camps off and on there.
Yeah.
Also, I just started, I know it sounds like a lot, but I just started some weight training at that actual gym because it's more like personalized one-on-one. And so like we do a lot of we do like back squats, front squats, and bench presses there at Coda, but we just don't do them all the time. I just wanted to get a little bit higher in weight, but get my form right. So I've been doing that for about 9 weeks now. So I've been kind of have to balance out my CrossFit stuff versus my fit work stuff. So
yeah, you were into it.
I'm kind of in between jobs right now, but still, it's like I got, what is it called? I like got muscle soreness, a delayed muscle soreness, I guess.
DOMS.
So my trainer yesterday is like, look, you're gonna have to rest for a few days because you're fatigued. I'm like, okay. So
what's your goal? Like, what are you working towards?
I'm kind of, my main focus is to get like kind of heavier, and I say heavier weight, maybe like a 150 in a bench press. And I know some tethers, it's not that heavy, but I mean, I started at 65 pounds last year and now I'm 215. So it's like, I mean, that's progress to me. So I want to get, like in my squats, I want to get more depth in there. Just to be stronger. It's basically my mission to be stronger. So get more strength and more muscle. And
what are you wanting to do with all that strength? Do you have a goal with that?
I don't know really yet. Just keep doing what I'm doing, I guess. I don't know. I do want to, I've been interested in like doing a little some gymnastic stuff. Like I've been learning my kipping pull-ups. I've been actually trying to do handstands. Maybe do some competitions. I don't know. It'll probably be scaled.
That's okay. I still do scaled, especially since coming to coaching, man. Like when people jump on, I'll not tell you everything, so I have to repeat it. But I used to be an RX athlete, and then like things happened in life, so I took 8 months off, and then I took another 8 months off. And going to Coda, I was like, I have to do everything scaled. And now like it's like RX is like professional level at Coda. Like,
oh yeah, it's crazy. It's like, and there's like kind of more, to me, more competitive gyms. I don't know how, I've never been to Norman, but like on the Native, it's less pressure to be competitive, I guess. To me, Native? The way
Okay. I've heard that Native is like super competitive.
Yeah, I guess maybe just compared to HQ. I don't know. Maybe it's just something with HQ.
You guys have Randall there and Bryce. You kind of froze on me.
Yeah, I did freeze. Yeah.
Yeah. Randall and Bryce.
I don't know. I just, yeah. Yeah, Randall's, he's a beast.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to do first timers in August too. So that's
fun.
Thing I'm working towards too.
And I want you to like already like get your mind right around first timers.
Yes. Yeah.
That is a legit competition. Like the name is extremely deceiving.
Right. I watched my husband do it. He did it in August this last year, and I was just like, oh my Lord, like this is very tiring.
Yeah, like,
tough, but
I've done other competitions that were not for first timers that were like way easier.
Yeah. And they unfortunately don't tell you exactly what until like, which that's just part of it. But yeah. So I don't know. I want to do, and again, it's like I want to do a lot, but I know I can't do everything. So I can't learn everything at once. I won't.
Not once, but eventually you can.
Yeah. And I think a lot of this weight training I'm doing it 2 to 3 days a week. It's a lot of strength work, but we do mainly bench presses, deadlifts, and back squats. And so we do accessory work too, like just whatever he has me doing that day. So it's really helped me. I mean, just kind of get my mind right. And, there's a time where you just kind of have to step away from the pressure and just be like, okay, this is your journey. So, you can't compare yourself to others.
As a newbie CrossFitter, like, especially I think in our first 2 years, like it's like every time you go do a WOD, it feels like you're doing a competition. And then eventually you're like, wait, WODs are like for practice. So do I want to focus on going fast and working on my engine? Or do I want to work on my strength and just know like I have to slow down a lot?
Right. And sometimes when I'm doing like power cleans, I have to go way down on my weight. And it's just, that's the way it is. I mean, I've got to get my form right, or my back, because I've had back problems and I've got to get it. That's the most important thing. So I just kind of let that go, and just not compare myself to others.
I was working out the other day. There's a new girl at our gym and she's younger. And I can't help it. I'm just a coach. Like, that's just who my DNA is. And I was like, so I think that you really shouldn't do weight on this. I think you should do an empty bar on these snatches because you don't have technique yet. And you're creating neurological pathways. If you create really bad neurological pathways, you're going to have to go back and break all these habits and increase your risk of getting hurt.
Yep.
And she was like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, crazy.
And I know better.
Yeah.
And I know better. I do know better. No, I do know better. I just, sometimes you get in the moment.
Yeah.
Even my husband will say he gets in the moment because, he sees I'm getting more weight and he's like, I'm going to get 50 more pounds. And I'm like, dude, you can't, you're not, that you can't do that.
Right.
So we have to kind of be accountable for each other.
Yes. Yeah. I like it. Let's see here. What time is it? It's 6:03. Let's get started, kiddo. So like I told you, I've been doing CrossFit since 2012. I am a former box owner. And my second husband has been much better than the first.
I hope.
Yes, here. I moved over to life coaching from being a CrossFit coach about 2 years ago. And in my life coaching practice, it's pretty unique because I only coach CrossFitters on mindset to help them improve their performance inside the gym and outside the gym. And I use my business partner as a physician, and we do neurotransmitter hormone testing to balance that out while we're also doing mindset coaching. So we were talking about how long you've been here and what did you come here to get today?
I don't know if a dialogue or maybe some information on what I can do to better improve myself, like not compare myself to others. It's things I know, but I guess it's better to hear it from other people,
Right.
just
right.
Like everybody does it. It's human. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to make sure because I believe in getting what you come for. So we'll just be really intentional about that. Sure. So how do we stay in our lane and not compare ourselves to others? Mm-hmm. So we have to understand why we compare to begin with. And there's a couple reasons. So mostly we function day to day out of two parts of our brain. Our primal brain, which is kind of the oldest part of our brain. It's very instinctual. It's got that fight or flight system within it, right? And then we use our prefrontal cortex. That's the youngest part of our brain. That's where we make decisions. We plan for goals. We delay instant gratification. Like, I'm on a diet. I'm not, but I'm using it as an example. Like, I'm on a diet. I want to lose 5 pounds. There's a cupcake in front of me. I'm not going to eat this cupcake because I want to achieve my goal. That comes from our prefrontal cortex. Okay. So comparison is rooted in that primal part of our brain. And why? Because we needed that because we're herd animals. We wanted to be part of the tribe, right? Because that's the only way we survive in the beginning is to be part of the tribe, because a lone wolf is a dead wolf. So when we compare, like back then, it was to see, are we doing what we need to do to be part of the tribe? Do I measure up so I can stay part of this tribe? So we just have to know that our brain still does that. Am I keeping up? Am I part of the tribe? Am I doing good enough to be kept and part of this tribe? The second part that is a little bit more controllable than that one, we just acknowledge like, yep, I get it. I know you, brain, that you're wanting me to be a part of the tribe and keep up. I get it. Okay. The second part that drives comparison is beliefs. So our brains have belief biases because there's so much stimuli coming at us from all different angles, like thousands and thousands of pieces of information coming at us all day. And our brain has to filter it for us to be able to function. Okay. And so when we have beliefs, our brain is only acknowledging the information that validates those beliefs. So if we have a belief, I am not as strong as Randall or whoever you got, right? I'm not as good as athlete as Stephanie, whoever. When you walk into the gym with that belief system running in the subconscious background or even in your conscious background, right? When you're in the middle of a WOD working out and this girl's going faster, she's a little bit around ahead of you. What happens is the belief in the back of your head that you aren't good enough, right, is starting to gather evidence. See, she finished that faster than you. See, she did that heavier than you. And that's that belief bias because your brain already has a belief that you're not good enough. And so then it just is gathering evidence externally. And we call that comparison. But really, what it is, it's a very easy way for our brain to see here's a belief, I'm not good enough. Look at all the evidence to back this belief up. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And sometimes it could be if you're not having a good day, or again, like myself yesterday, I did weight training and I wasn't feeling it. My muscles, everything was sore. And he's like, this is really normal. I mean, he didn't get on to me, but I still felt like, oh my God, it's like, I'm not strong enough. I can't do this. It's like, so he's like, you need to rest for 5 days. And it's like, oh my God, I couldn't even finish this workout today. I'm
Yep.
terrible.
Yep. Yeah.
And
it's because
I know when I get back into it, I'll be fine.
Right. Right. It's because there's belief back there, right? Then now you've created
it's still like I'm not
for.
good enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Usually in most of my coaching experience, honestly, I try to go to the root cause. There's a root cause belief system that sprouts out all these things. And from 99% of the humans, it's I'm not enough and I'm not worthy. And we walk around with that and it manifests in different ways, right? So I'm not strong enough. You trace it back down, it's like I'm not enough.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's, I hate that feeling, but I like to be confident, but sometimes I just have moments like that. So
yeah. And I think we're doing another I'm doing another webinar about confidence and how the difference between confidence and self-confidence, because they're very different. So,
yeah.
Okay. So now we understand why we compare, right? We compare from a primal perspective because we want to be part of the tribe and make sure that we are doing the things we need to stay in the tribe. Okay. That's that looking left and right instead of paying attention to what's going on here. And then we also, because we have belief systems running in the background, that our brain is looking for evidence to prove. So if we can take those two things and understand, like, okay, this is why I'm comparing. It really has nothing to do with, like, it doesn't serve me. It's not a behavior that is like, what was the word I'm looking for? It's not a behavior that like you just have to rail against. You just have to understand, okay, this is what's going on. There's not anything wrong with me. Okay. So
it's more about you than you think the people think that, but it's really more yourself. You know what I mean? It's like you're less confident yourself, but it's like my perception is like everyone's like, oh, she can't do it, but it's actually myself saying that, not everybody else. That makes
correct.
sense.
And I will tell you that everybody else in that room, because they all have human brains that are healthy and working just like yours, are doing the exact same thing. Right? They're comparing.
Right.
To build some belief system. They're comparing, am I part of this tribe? Am I doing what I need to? They're not even paying attention to you because their brain is over in survival mode. Okay.
Right.
So let's talk about how it harms us. Like, yeah, it makes us feel crappy, right? Like nobody likes it because anytime we compare, we're always going to be the ones falling short. We hardly ever compare ourselves and be like, oh yeah, like I am so much better than her. It's usually compare, I'm the one that's not measuring up, right? Yeah. So are you familiar with hormones and neurotransmitters?
Technically no, but I mean, yeah, I kind of get
Kind
the
of.
gist of.
Okay. So dopamine, we need dopamine. Dopamine is the chemical we need for anticipation. Okay. So when we're anticipating going on vacation, right? Like you're booking the flights, you're planning it, that's dopamine. And it motivates us to take action. So when we are comparing ourselves, we're lowering our dopamine because we're pulling out the anticipation because we're losing, right? I'm now going to go, like, you could go return back to the gym, your weight training, and be like, oh, I'm not strong enough. I had to quit last time. That right there is suppressing the dopamine and increasing the cortisol, the stress hormone. So then it kills our motivation because we need dopamine to be motivated. So why does it then make it harder to PR, right? Like you need dopamine for motivation, you need it for anticipation. We're working against it with all this comparison stuff and this lack of belief in ourselves that we keep adding evidence to. So then we create another belief, I can't hit this PR. I'm not strong enough. I don't have what it takes. And really, our brain loves this one. It's too hard. It's too heavy. I'm going to get hurt. Right? I'm sure your brain's off about this. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Right. Because we need dopamine to be motivated. And also, so serotonin is the chemical that is the reward. If I do well, I get serotonin. Serotonin is needed for self-confidence and failure resilience. Okay. So when we're in a place where we're kind of like, we're not believing in ourselves, we're comparing, we're the brain is then going to move over and be like, we can't hit this. This is too heavy and you're going to get hurt. So I'm just going to like make sure you don't get hurt, Mary, and keep flooding you with all these thoughts of we can't, this is too heavy. I can't do this. I need more time to work on it, whatever, right? So then we either self-sabotage and don't make the PR, or we don't even try, which then adds to the negative thought loop. I'm not a good athlete. I'm not strong enough. So you can see how this starts to create this negative cycle. Is this making sense?
It does. It makes perfect sense.
Okay.
But so, it's funny because it's like it's a normal thing, but we all, even though we still think it's not. I mean, like it's like it still gets to us, though, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that we really fully understand it. Like we all understand, like, yes, we compare ourselves and comparison is the thief of joy, right? Like I think that's a normal societal norm, but I don't think we understand what's going on in the background. That's what's creating this. And I think that's why we're just like, yeah, I really don't want to compare, but you feel powerless to change it. Like I still do it. Like I've been coached for 2 years. I am a coach myself and I still do it. Like I did it yesterday. I went into SugarWOD and I started looking at the scores, right? Yeah. And I knew when I opened up SugarWOD, this is the beauty of it. I knew, I saw my brain and watched myself. I was like, you're opening this up to go find evidence to prove that you didn't do well today.
Yeah.
So I just watched the train wreck. I was like, okay, I see you doing it. I see that you're just trying to gain evidence to prove that you didn't do well. You know that's going to make you feel crappy. It's not going to serve you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But because you're like,
go ahead.
Because I'm like, since I've been doing this weight training for almost 10 weeks, so I had to skip a couple of days because you told me to rest. But it's like people on my level, they're still doing heavier. Like sometimes they're doing a heavier squat. And I'm like, I feel like I'm improving. And then I get in the sugar WOD and it's just like crap. It's like, I hate that. It's like, I need to stop doing that.
Yeah.
Just quit, Mary.
And I would ask you, like, why? How is it serving you to do that?
Yeah. The only reason why I really like to log into it, because I can keep track on my workouts, like see my progress, but it's mostly about myself. But then you get into the one you log in your score and it's about other people, and it needs to just be about myself, not.
So I want you to like
not seeing other people's, I guess.
I know, like I'm on sugar WOD, so I can be onto your brain, right? You have to click on the results to see everybody else's results when you log yours. Like when you log yours, you don't automatically see everybody else's results, right?
Right.
So my question is, why are you going ahead and clicking on and looking at everybody else's results?
Just this, again, it's to validate if I've improved or not. It sounds crazy when you say it. It sounds crazy. It's to compare yourself. That's
and you're not getting what you want, right? Like you're getting validation of what your brain believes.
Yeah.
I'm not good enough.
Believes, yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Let's see. So how does it slow our progress down? Right? You know, I'll ask you, how does it slow your progress down?
Well, it kind of gets like frustrating feelings. Like, well, I'm trying, but it just seems like I just can't, I can't progress where I want to progress. And so you just get flustered because you're just like, I just won't get there. When am I going to get there? And, it takes work to do it. So you feel like it's just so much work. And then it's like, you see the results and it's like, oh my God, they're still lifting 50 pounds heavier. What the heck, But
and then what happens?
That's kind of where it's kind of goes downhill. Like was it cortisone?
Your cortisol, yeah. We don't get the serotonin hit, right? That reward. Yeah. We want the results to
get. We get that opposite.
Yeah. We want the results to create a serotonin hit. Also, we want it to validate us. It's not. So our primal brain is like, look, our primal brain has three major things it has to do. And it is seek pleasure, avoid pain, and utilize as little energy as possible. So when we are not making progress, that primal brain is like, look, we're using a lot of energy and we are suffering and this is not working. Yeah. We should quit, or we should just give up on these one things, just show up and not even care. And then our results come to a screeching slow halt. And we create that we're not getting results, and we create it. We don't believe we are. We slow down. We start skipping workouts. We give up on certain things, and we don't create any more results.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my husband, we partner up a lot and it just ends up that way. And there's times where he frustrated me because he would say, are you sure you want to go that way? And it's just like, it feels like, oh, you don't think I'm strong enough? But he's trying to make me think smart, I guess, work smarter, not necessarily harder, I guess. But it just sounds frustrating because it's like, you know what? You tell me I can't do something, I'm going to prove you wrong. I mean, that's just how my personality is. And but lately, we've been doing the bench presses. He used to get Jared to get, when it got really heavy, he used to have Jared spot, not me. Well, he hasn't asked Jared in a while. So I said, oh yeah, since I've been taking weight training, you haven't asked Jared to spot. You want me to do it. So I'm just letting you know.
Yeah.
Because it's progress.
He has a belief now.
Weight
training, so he believes that you're capable of helping him.
Yeah, and I see the progress in my results, not everybody else's, but that's where I need to focus on. Really, it's just mine, because there is a lot of progress. I mean, 65 pounds to 115 and 4 reps. That's pretty good.
It's awesome. It's awesome, right?
Yeah.
And using that,
I still always think I can do better.
Using that as validation.
I know, that's what
progress. right? So if you start like, okay, when you get these, and I cuss, so if it offends you, you're gonna have to tell me. If you get these shitty thoughts, like, I haven't made progress, then you can go back and look like, no, nope, brain, provide me factual evidence that I have not made any progress. Went from 65 to 115. Right. Last time I checked, that is progress.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's there. Mm-hmm. But when we can't see it, when I don't see it, it's like, oh yeah, it's like, damn, I'm still just weak, you know?
I know I'm not weak. It.
Yeah.
You don't want to see it.
Yeah.
Because then you're proving, you're questioning a belief in your brain that you're not enough. And your brain does not like that. So it doesn't want to see that crap. It wants to see how Randall's doing way more weight than you. So it can make you feel bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I can't, you know, I don't compare myself to her because she's just way out.
Yeah. I mean, she's the only
I mean, but I mean, you know, right? People on my level, I guess.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, no, you're beast mode. But there's people that said you're a beast. I'm a beast because, you know, I do more than one workout a day a lot. I mean, I'm trying to cut back, but so, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you don't feel like that. And then other people from the outside say, yeah, you're a beast. I'm thinking, how am I a beast? I mean,
and tell me why you think that now. Because you have a belief system that you're not.
Yeah, it's a belief. Yeah, it's a belief system. Yeah, it's just kind of your pre-notion or just.
It's this belief system that's running in the conscious.
There, I guess. I don't know. It's
yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So I wanted to touch on too, like why these negative thoughts, right? And this comparison that creates negative thoughts. Like I want to dive a little bit into how it's even more harmful than you think it is, because we're just going to categorize thought or emotions. Okay. So there's good emotions and then there's negative emotions, right? Negative emotions, guilt, sadness, shame, you know the list. Okay. So from a scientific perspective, negative emotions, like not feeling worthy, not feeling enough, feeling shame. When we have a thought, there's a neurological firing, neurotransmitters, right? That goes from one neuron to another neuron. We have a thought, that firing creates the emotion, that chemical response. That chemical response travels through the body like a vibration. So when we are in the negative emotion area that's created by a thought, what's the girl that you compare yourself to? What's her name?
Can't say Christy.
Christy. Okay. So when you look at Christy and like, Christy's stronger than me, I should be as strong as her. That's a thought that then creates a chemical reaction that I'm not enough. It's in the negative realm. Negative emotions, of course, raise our cortisol and other neurotransmitters that create an acidic environment within our body. So our body loves to be alkaline. Alkaline is where our bodies really thrive at and are very healthy at. When we're in an acidic environment in our body, it creates inflammation. So you can see when we're in these negative thought loops, we have chemical responses that are creating acidic environments, which creates a lot of inflammation in our bodies. It makes us prone to injuries. It takes longer to recover. Hello, DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness.
Yes, I was reading about that. Yeah.
Yep. Right. And our body is in survival mode. When we are in survival, the body's primary response is not to build muscle or fitness. It is to protect the organs of the body. So you can see really, like, we think that comparing ourselves is going to provide validation for us, but it's really affirming negative thought loops, negative beliefs is what it's doing, and creating a chain reaction of a negative state in our physiology, which doesn't help us improve our fitness. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just don't want to get too much in the weeds on it where people are like, what the hell are you talking about?
No, I understand kind of I kind of understand the psychology of it because it's really basic psychology, but I mean, um, it's a human behavior, I guess. I mean, it's just normal human.
You have a normal human brain. It's doing what it's
Brain,
supposed
yeah.
to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just we learn like, okay, I have a normal human brain, which I've never been given the operating manual for, by the way. But now I can get some tools in the operating manual and I can start to learn how to work with this human brain instead of letting it hijack me and do what it wants to do. And I'm just kind of like along for the ride.
Right.
Yeah. So like the best way to like handle this is just don't fight it. Right?
Right.
We just like I did yesterday, like I told you in the example, I'm like, okay, brain, I see you. Like I see you wanting to go into SugarWOD and look at these results. And I know why you're wanting to do that is because you're wanting validation that you're not doing a good enough job. And just saying that and acknowledging that kind of calls my brain out. And it's like, oh, yeah, you're right. So then I can make a decision at that point. Okay, I know if I go in and look at the leaderboard, what the results are going to be. I'm not going to measure up and I'm going to feel bad and it's not going to serve me. Or I can choose not to go into the leaderboard and go look at my own stat stuff and make an intellectual decision. Have I improved? Am I better today than I was yesterday? Just the awareness.
It's been always yes for me.
What?
Right. Yeah. The answer has always been on my end. The progress has always been better.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, when you go into other people's, it's like, oh shit, like,
yeah,
like I'm not doing as good as I thought, you know. But
yeah, but like, what if you're comparing yourself to me, right? Like I roll up in the gym, I come and work out with you, and you're like, she should not why is she doing better than me or whatever, right? Like you have no idea of my history.
Right.
You have no idea that I was a college athlete. You have no idea that I've been doing CrossFit for over 8 years. All you see is my current in the moment performance.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a fair comparison. It's like comparing an apple to an orange. You froze on me.
Right. Yeah.
So I just want to plant that seed in your brain. As you start to want to go to the leaderboard, just be conscious, like, okay, I know I'm doing this to make myself feel bad. I get to choose whether I'm going to do it or not. And also, I'm comparing a snapshot in time of this person's performance to mine, and I have no idea what their background, what their fitness journey has been over the years.
Right. Yeah. A lot of the people in 6 o'clock class, 6 p.m., a lot of them have been going for like 8 years, 6 to 8 years. I've only been going a year and a half. So it's
don't
like,
I deserve to do more weight?
And I just ran, really. That was my
right. Like if I've done it for 8 years and I've put in all these reps over these years, don't I deserve to do heavier weight than you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like you deserve to be able to run a longer and faster mile than me because you've been putting in all the mileage.
Yeah.
Oh, brain.
I know, I love that brain.
Yep. Yeah. So I think the best thing to do is before you go to the gym is you have to make the decision. What is success going to be for me today? What does progress look like for me?
It could be different. It could be different each day. I mean,
yep. But
it could be different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, do you look at the workouts beforehand?
I always do. Yeah. Cause I kind of, with my weight training and stuff, I've always looked ahead anyways, but especially with my weight training, I wanted to see what's going on. That way I overdo myself,
Yep.
where I know to scale and stuff. So
Then you
I
are
like to plan. I'm a planner. I don't like surprises.
okay.
I don't like surprises.
That's awesome.
It's just
like you've already know what the workout is. So then before you even hit the gym, you make a decision. What does success look like for me in this WOD today? What does getting better and proof that I am improving look like for me today? I would suggest that you write it down. Okay. And then when you finish it.
Yeah, so I haven't. Yeah.
You see, oh, I just decided that I would not take a break during burpees. Like I didn't take a break during burpees and I also nailed this. Right. So that way you can start to retrain your brain, what it looks like to validate your progress, to validate yourself. Because that's the goal, is to be able to start validating yourself, celebrating your successes, celebrating your performance.
Do you find, I had a question, do you find, I don't know, because a lot of people showcase them publicly, and I don't really do that. I mean, unless it's a milestone, I guess it's just something, I don't want to look like I'm bragging or something, or, sometimes I deserve bragging rights, but I just feel like it makes you look conceited, or I don't know. People post on social media and stuff of what they've done. And I'm usually proud of people that do that, but I just feel like if I do it, that I'm just not, I'm not good enough. Kind of like,
yeah, so you don't deserve to.
Why are you even bragging about it? You didn't even you're not doing 160-pound bench press. You're only doing 115. So why would you even be posting that? I mean, it's just wrong to think that, but that's just
my question is
negative self-talking.
Yes. My question is, what is the objective for posting it? Like, what are you wanting by posting it?
Maybe more accountability. I like that I'm still progressing, I guess, maybe. But
for another one.
No one's really paying attention, I guess. I mean,
most people are posting because they want validation from the masses. Right? Like if I go and post that I just back squatted 165 today, right? The reason I'm posting it a lot of times is because I want validation from the humans that I'm doing a good job. So if you're approaching it from that perspective, it doesn't feel good. But if you're posting it from the perspective of like, I am super proud of myself. I am so proud I did 115 and I'm going to put it out there on social media because I'm so proud and I really don't care if anybody likes it or not. That feels very different. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like Nacho, and I did my first, this was a year ago, I did my first strict pull up. And this was after COVID. So I had no idea I could do strict pull up. And he posted on Instagram, and it felt great. I mean, but I was just like, oh my God, it's just like, I'm just one strict pull up, I'm like, oh my God, I got to quit doing that. It's just like, those are hard. I mean, a lot of people in the gym can't even still do a strict pull up. So
go up to Stephanie in your class and ask her how bad she would like to do one strict pull up. She'll start crying, telling you how bad she wants it.
Yeah. Well, I started doing kipping pull-ups the other day, and I mean, they're not all pretty, but but it's a milestone to me. And
it is a milestone.
And I'm just like, I just gotta be proud of that. But I want to do it perfect, and I don't want to be a perfectionist either. But I'm kind of got those traits too. Like,
Do you want me to give you a secret on perfectionism? So perfectionism is a defense mechanism that we picked up in childhood. Like the 7-year-old Mary got in trouble. I'm making something up, right? For like spilling her milk on the table. And mom or dad was like, can't you just like eat and not spill things? And that 7-year-old Mary was like, oh, like if I just do things perfectly, that my mom and dad will love me and accept me. So I just got to do things perfectly. So it's this defense mechanism that we pick up to cover a wound, and we just take it on out through adulthood. Just got to be perfect.
Yeah.
If I'm perfect, I'll be enough and the humans will love me and accept me.
Mm-hmm. I kind of know where this all comes from. It's being a quote middle child. I'm a twin, but it's quote being a middle child. And my parents, it seems like out of me and my siblings, they all expect more of me. It's like my sister can do the same thing and do it wrong, but they expect that of her. So they don't get on to her. But if I did it the same thing, I would be like, well, why didn't you do it this way?
I suspect that you expect more out of you than you do your siblings as well.
Yeah. But, at least I recognize it. I mean,
yeah, it's the first step, right? It's just you have all the, like you're a normal human with a normal human brain, right? It has all these belief systems that are running all the time. And these belief systems about who you are. And these belief systems were created when you were about 7 or 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And then we run into when we're adults, like we're still working out of these same belief systems all this time. And then we start getting rubs like, I'm not sure if this belief system works for me anymore. I'm not sure if comparing myself to others is serving me anymore.
Right.
And we start pulling these belief systems up and looking at them and then dismantling them and creating belief systems that actually serve you.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of toxic to yourself to keep comparing yourself to others.
Super.
It's like you don't want to be toxic relationship, then why would you want to be toxic to yourself?
Yep. You would never talk to other people like you talk to yourself.
Absolutely.
Right. I mean, you're normal, right? You have a normal human brain that just loves to be shitty to us. And so we get to a point where it's like, you know what? Like, this doesn't serve me. I don't get to progress and fulfill my potential by staying in these thought loops and beliefs.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what my weight trainer says. He's like, nope, this is why we do what we do here, because you're not sitting there comparing yourself to others. They don't even have an app you log into, because you write it down and like old school, because they don't want that. They don't want people comparing themselves to others, which makes total sense, because I could walk in and do the weight training while I'm on phase 1 and this other girl's on phase 2 and she's doing almost a 300-pound deadlift. Well, I'm only on 175. Well, she's been there longer. She's worked harder. So
do you see what your
I wouldn't know that unless she told me.
Do you see what your brain's doing though?
Yeah.
Like, it allows you to like give her that permission to do that and have grace for you. But you walk into the CrossFit gym and it's like, nope, all that's out the door. I should be doing this.
Yeah. Yep. It's kind of funny because that's pretty much I do.
Yeah. And that's it. I mean, that's okay. You're aware of it now.
Yeah.
So you get to like walk into the CrossFit gym, like, here's what optimum performance for me or success is for me today. Right. And then hopefully as you open Sugar Wad, you hear my voice. Am I going to make a choice? Am I going to choose to make myself feel shitty? I know I'm doing it. Or am I going to choose not to?
Yeah. It's on me if I feel shitty because I made the choice to click on the results.
Right. What questions do you have? That's kind of all I wanted to, I didn't want to overwhelm people with.
Yeah. I mean, really, it's not really a question, but it's really a lot of the things I've been thinking. I guess, like, are you still like, do you still do that? Like compare yourself, like go into the results now, or you just said, I'm not doing it again. Like, that's it.
I don't do it as much, but I still do it. Like I told you, like yesterday, I did.
Yeah.
I have to ask myself, like, why did I allow myself to do it yesterday? I know why. It's because I'm working on my muscle ups and I'm feeling shitty that I don't have them yet. And instead of working on that thought process, I indulged in looking at the results on Sugar Wad to validate I'm not doing a good enough job. That's exactly why that behavior was there.
Yeah.
But usually when I'm not like that and I'm in a healthier mental place where it's like, yeah, I mean, this is a marathon, and this is what's good for today. And I'm happy that I showed up, and I'm happy that I didn't quit at any point. Like, I don't even go to the leader. I don't compare myself. I don't look at the girl, compare myself. I just stay in my own lane, focus on what I need to do. I have a game plan going into that WOD that day. Like, here's kind of what I want to do. Here's what I need to work on afterwards. Do my thing. Go on with my life.
Yeah. And I notice a lot of the guys too, because we never say we're going to compare ourselves to other guys, but you think guys, okay, we're stronger or whatever. But like with my husband, I mean, we don't do the same weight, but there's times when he cannot, his back has got a bad back. So gotta be very careful. Sometimes, he's like, well, you're lifting more weight. Like, you improved more. Like, not that my weight's heavier than his, but he's like, your progress has been more than mine. So he kind of gets, sometimes I get the feeling that he's kind of gets like a little, like he needs to improve now since I've been improving. And I don't want that. Like, I don't want to be competitive, with him, it's part of our relationship, but.
Right. So you now know why we do it. So why is he doing it?
Yeah. Same thing. Maybe he needs to be listening to this.
It doesn't matter if it's a female or male brain. He's doing it because he has beliefs.
Right.
I have really nothing.
It's just, yeah, right. And it's just interesting. We just compare ourselves to each other, females, but I always wonder if there's males. I don't know. It's whether there's a competition between males and females, against each other, in a way, like progress level.
Yeah.
Like the speed of progress, not necessarily weight.
Yeah. Society created some norms on it, right? That men should be stronger, men should get fitter faster, right? So he's got the society norms going on. Women shouldn't be stronger than men. He's got that one going on in his brain. And it feels threatening for them because their identity is also built into that.
Right. Yeah. No,
and it's everything compared to our spouses, right? Because like my husband's name Jeremiah, like I know how many times Jeremiah goes and works out. I know how long he's been working out. I know what he eats. So he's a very safe one for me to compare myself and compete against.
Yeah.
I know his strengths and his weaknesses.
Yeah, I did too. Mine. I've been eating. I mean, my eating has been a lot better because with my weight trainer, I've been going to MyFitnessPal and, tracking my calories, my protein, because I was lacking protein. I mean, I just did not realize how low in protein I was. And he's like, this is going to make you stronger. I'm working on that. So my eating, not even just my weightlifting.
And I would even say, I'm going to take another step farther.
Yeah.
You working on this competitive stuff and validation, it's going to help you get stronger. It's going to help you perform better because you're moving out of that negative thought loops into more of an alkaline state, which your body can recover and heal faster in.
Yeah.
And out of all these shitty self-talk, right?
I think a lot of this too is because I'm between jobs. So I feel like what am I good for? What am I good? I mean, I got to be good at something, and it's just like, my husband's like, you're just in between jobs. I said, I know, but it's like, if I'm not good at CrossFit, what am I good at? Like, I'm not good at anything. Again, it's just that negative shitty talk to myself. It's like, don't say that because you're just going to eat you alive,
Yeah. You'll continually find evidence that you're not good at anything.
Yeah, it's so easy to do that too. And it's like, you gotta go the other way.
I love this. My coach gave me this saying, right? So all humans have 24 hours in a day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with Elon Musk?
Yes.
Yeah. Elon Musk doesn't get 26 hours and he cannot only have 23 hours. He gets 24. Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you believe that babies, when they're born, are 100% worthy? 100% enough?
Like capabilities or like?
Just their like
Just
worthiness.
knowledge or
like a worthiness of a human. Are they worthy?
yes, I do in the beginning, but
Yeah.
again, that comes
Okay.
from
All right.
environment.
As humans, we are born 100% worthy. Worthiness is like time. Everybody gets 24 hours. All the humans are 100% worthy. You cannot add to your worthiness. You cannot subtract from your worthiness. It's how you spend your worthiness. Just like time, you can piss it away or you can use it and do great things.
Yeah.
You can piss your worthiness away, feeling sorry for yourself, staying in these negative thought loops, or we can use our worthiness to do good things. But you can't add or take away from it. It's just like time. Humans are 100% worthy, and we all get 24 hours.
Yep. Like instead of saying, okay, I'm just going to rest and feel sorry for myself, I can't work out, I should read a book while I'm resting. I should read a book that's a self-help book or whatever, instead of just pouting about it.
Right. So whether you have a job or don't have a job does not add to or take away from your worthiness.
Right. And it's exactly what my husband tells me.
But your brain doesn't believe it, so your brain argues with it.
Yeah.
Because
it was my choice to leave. So it's just
what?
It's like, it's my choice to leave. So you think, oh, well, it's my choice, but it still doesn't make it. You still have that feeling like it didn't work out. It should have worked out. It didn't work out. So
it's because you have a belief bias, right?
Like relationship,
all thoughts are optional. I know your brain wants to tell you that these thoughts are like observations of reality. Our thoughts are subjective interpretation of reality, so therefore they are all optional.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree. I do.
So
easier said than done. Though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it takes work, right? It takes work to get there and like retrain the brain and dismantle old belief systems and create new ones. That's why there's a whole life coaching profession, right? Like that's what we do.
Yes.
So if you have any other questions or if you would just want to do like a one-on-one personalized session, I do free. I'm doing free like consult, just one-on-one calls.
Okay.
So you can just DM me.
Okay.
If you want to do that. Do you have any other questions?
Was this your first one?
Do what?
Was this your first one? Was this your first one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just saw the post earlier, so I didn't know if it was your first session.
This is my first of a 24. I went in. Are you part of the CrossFit Women's Facebook group?
No, actually, I saw I think I saw it on Coda page is where I saw that post.
Okay.
And it just showed up. I saw that. I was like, what is this? And I was like,
yeah. So there's a CrossFit Women's group in Facebook, and there's 24,000 of us in there. And so I just asked them, like, what topics do you want? I have to do, my coach wants me to do 4 of these for the month of May. And they gave me 24 topics. So I have a webinar every week until November 11th.
Oh, okay. So what is it under? Okay, so it's CrossFit.
I think it's Women of CrossFit.
Women's group?
Women of CrossFit.
I'm looking at it right now. Oh, okay. I'm looking at it right now. Women of CrossFit. So are these sessions recorded?
They are. Yeah, because I have some women that wanted to do this, but they couldn't come. So then they asked me to DM them.
Okay. CrossFit, Women of CrossFit. Why don't you, if you don't mind, send me the link? I'm looking it up, but I don't know if these are the right.
Let's see. Yes, I will do that. And I will also show you kind of what it looks like. It's called The Women of CrossFit, and this is what it looks like.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's why I didn't find it. Yes, good. Okay. The Women of CrossFit. The Okay. I see it. Okay.
Got it?
Yeah. Let's see. It pulls up. The Women of CrossFit. this well. I thought it's not.
I will invite you to it. How about that?
I think this might be. Yeah, that might be easier. It's a lot of.
Okay.
It's a lot of pages.
I'll have to I'll friend request you.
Okay.
So I can
cool.
invite you.
Okay.
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 Cool. Thanks for showing up.
Okay.
Do you have anything else?
Well, I guess that's all. Oh, you're welcome. I appreciate the chat.
Yeah.
Not right now. I'm just going to rest for a few more days, and then Monday we'll be back at it. So
good. All right. So I won't be next week. We don't have a webinar, but the week after we do, the 20th.
Okay.
So hopefully I'll see you then.
Okay.
All right. Bye, girl.
See if I can make it. Okay. We'll talk later.
All right. Bye.
Talk to you. Okay. Bye.